when I made a video about the Canon L3 calling it a budget-friendly Leica, I received several comments saying that the Canon 7 was actually better. Someone even said that I was being delusional. But I wouldn't be having a career in a creative field in the first place if I wasn't a tiny bit delusional. So in this video, I'll be the judge of that and see if the Canon 7 is actually better than the Canon L3. And I wish I could tell you how it compares to a Leica, but I still don't own a Leica yet. Here I am in Milan for 24 hours. Everyone has their own approach to deciding what to photograph. For me, it's all about capturing beautiful things, specifically architecture and interiors. I love documenting a city's landscape at a specific moment in time, knowing it might change in the future. The first photos I shot with the Canon 7 came out underexposed, and to be completely honest, I was so close to binning this video. But there was no way I was letting that happen after spending £20 on Portra 400. So I edited the photos a bit and learned a valuable lesson. Watch out for overcast weather and those sneaky rays of sunshine that come and go, messing with your meter. It's worth mentioning that the actual camera meter is broken, and given the fact that it's a selenium meter, I'm almost 100% sure that it's long gone in most of these cameras. My favorite part of the day was visiting Villa Necchi, this incredible house from the 1930s. It's been used in movies and was ahead of its time when it was built. I wandered around the garden and even met a furry friend along the way. I really wanted to test the Canon 7 by shooting some interiors. I don't always get the results I want with film indoors, so I usually back it up with a digital camera. In some areas there wasn't enough light, and I probably should have used a higher ISO film. I was shooting Portra 400 here. But I was happily surprised with some of the photos I got. Even if the exposure wasn't perfect, I still managed to capture some beautiful pockets of light. After leaving Villa Necchi, just a few meters away, we discovered a hidden garden tucked behind a tall hedge, where a handful of flamingos were enjoying themselves. Conscious of the light fading away in a few hours, we rushed to another area I really wanted to see, Brera, a central neighborhood that is slightly more touristy but is home to the Pinacoteca. Not sure I mentioned this before, but this was my first time using the Canon 7, and by the end of the day, I definitely got the hang of it. It is a bigger camera compared to the Canon L3, but it didn't make much of a difference to me. I'll be back with a breakdown of my experience at the end of the video. I'm back home now and I'm ready to draw a comparison between these two rangefinders. For context, this camera was released 10 years later, the Canon L3, and was a step up in many ways. At the time of its release, the Canon 7 was considered one of the most advanced rangefinder camera available. And it was kind of an attempt to compete with Leica in the high-end rangefinder market. The more obvious thing you'll notice straight away is that the Canon 7 is bigger and more robust compared to the Canon L3. I used to love owning bigger cameras, thinking I would get better results with them. But now I'm actually all about comfort, I'm all about convenience, I'm all about not getting back pain anymore. And I think that's what pushing 30s does to you. I've been omitting a very important piece of information from you, and I need to come clean. So the frame lines inside the viewfinder were actually broken. So I had no idea what my framing looked like. Apparently you can't get it fixed, so if the frame lines inside your viewfinder come broken, you can't really do much about it. And in my case, I knew that the whole viewfinder was 35mm, so I was shooting with a 50mm, so I knew that my photos were gonna be slightly cropped. Speaking of viewfinders, I found this one being brighter and bigger compared to the Canon L3, and I must say the focus is extremely accurate. Even though sometimes I thought that my focus was gonna be slightly off, all photos came out fine, which I was very happy about. And the thing that probably matters the most, did I actually notice a difference in terms of image quality between the two cameras? Short answer, I didn't. To give you context and also to be completely transparent, I always use the same lens when I shoot with rangefinders, which is a 50mm Sony lens. And also tend to use the same stock over and over again. In this case was the Portra 400. When comparing the two images from both cameras next to each other, if I'm being completely honest, I can't really tell you the difference. And this makes me wonder how important the body is when it comes to 35mm photography. But that's another question for another video. Overall, I really liked shooting with the Canon 7 and I don't have any major complaints apart from what was broken in the camera. But if you want to try a Leica, and I know a Leica is much more than a camera, it's also an experience, but if you want to have a taste of that experience, I don't see why you can't try a Canon rangefinder. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, it really helps my tiny channel, and I'll see you at the next one.